So I brought it all up and I figured, you know, let's see how much they quote. And almost every single one was way over what it should be. Again, not sure I'm going to pick up anything today, but I figure I'd look since I'm in the area. So let's go look and see if I can find anything today at Value Pawn. All right, so that was an interesting experience. As you saw, they had a bunch of games and they had a lot of really good games. They had Overwatch, they had Jedi Fallen Order, Minecraft, The Sims, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Crash Insane Trilogy. They had a bunch of good stuff. So I brought it all up and I figured, you know, let's see how much they quote. And almost every single one was way over what it should be. This pawn shop has been looking up prices for a while now, and I have no problem with that because usually they undercut the lowest price by a fair amount. Today they really didn't. They were asking like 20 for Modern Warfare, 17 for Crash. I'm like, no, not gonna do it. So I only picked up 2 games, and the only reason why I picked these up is because one of them I'm actually gonna add to the collection, and one of them I knew was gonna be an easy flip because I flipped it last week. So we're gonna start off with the game I'm adding to my collection, and that is Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville on the Xbox One. I knew this wasn't like a particularly expensive game, so I figured I'd bring it up. They originally asked for $8 for it. I got them to negotiate down to $6. So I think $6 is a pretty solid price. It looks like a fun game. I'm sure I'll have a good time with it. And then the other one, I figured they were gonna have it, and I figured I could probably get it for a good price because last time they didn't even look up the price. They just gave me $5. This time they looked it up, but I did get them down to $6. It's still a good profit. Another WWE 2K20. So this one, like I said, they wanted $8 for it. I got them down to $6. It's still worth $11 in trade-in. So I'm going to flip this to GameStop and make a nice quick profit and essentially pay for my other game for free. So pretty happy with that. But yeah, not a huge score today. I'm going to let them sit on those games for a while because maybe eventually they'll decide, you know what, we've sat on these for a long time. You've checked a lot. Maybe they'll eventually come to and actually give me decent prices on them. But until then, I'm going to let them sit on. All right, back at GameStop to trade in my extra set of Joy-Cons and WWE 2K20. We'll see what I get and what I come away with, if anything. All right, so here's what I ended up doing. I got basically $50 in credit for the game and the 2 Joy-Cons. So I put $10 down on a controller that I pre-ordered the last time I was there. So a little more money on that. And then I did pick up the game. And the main reason I picked this up, and you all are going to laugh, I'm sure, when you see it, I do want to play it just because I know its reputation. And it's a really clean copy. And surprisingly, this game has some value, I think, because it's so meme-worthy. I had to. When I saw it in the store and it was as clean as it is, I had to. Sonic the Hedgehog, aka Sonic 06 on the PS3. I found a copy of it finally. I was hoping I would find this at like a thrift shop or a pawn shop for really cheap, but I figured, you know, I can buy this entirely with credit. I have a good copy. It's really nice. It's complete. Oddly enough, the disc was in case when I picked it up, which is not what's supposed to happen at GameStop, but whatever. Disc is in good shape, so I figured, you know what, for a really good clean copy of this really terrible game, I might as well pick it up. So I got Sonic 06. They had Sonic Unleashed. I thought about picking that one up too, but I'm like, I think this is the main one I need to pick up. And then I still have $18 left in credit, which I put on my card. I'll probably end up using that towards the controller as well when that comes out at the end of the month, or on something else, who knows. But yeah, so I did do the trade. I got a new game, Sonic 06, and got some good credit down towards my pre-order. You know the drill. Back at it again. See if they got anything new this time. Let's go. So like last time, I found a lot of the same games. They were still asking for way too much, like 20 for Jedi Fallen Order and 20 for Call of Duty, which they're not worth much more than that, or actually they're worth less than that in trade-in. So I passed on all those, but I did pick up one game that I saw a few weeks ago. I think they originally wanted like 10 or 15 for it, and now I got it for 5, so that was worth it. Scribblenauts Mega Pack on the Xbox One. This includes 2 games, Scribblenauts Unmasked, which is DC Comics, and Scribblenauts Unlimited, so solid pickup. Well, I'm on the side of town again, so let's go visit Cash America, see if they've got anything good. Let's do it. Cash America always tries to hook me up, and they do a great job of it. That's why they've very easily become my favorite of the pawn shops in the area. So I picked out 4 games, some of which just were put out, and they originally wanted 10 for each, but they immediately were like, you come in here all the time, we'll knock them down to 7 each. So I'm like, you know what, don't even need to haggle, that's a good deal. And I think I did pretty well. I'm not sure which one of these I'm going to keep and which ones I'm going to flip. I'll have to see the value. Some of them I know I'm going to flip though. First off, we have Cartoon Network Battle Crashers on the Xbox One. I don't know much about it. It looks like a Smash Brothers type game. I don't know. It looked cool, and it was something that I don't have in the collection already, so I'll take a look and see if it's worth anything. Trade in, but I figure for $7, you know, not a bad pickup. Next one is definitely a flipper. Forza Horizon 4. I know this one has some decent value to it, so traded that in. Should definitely make a few bucks on that one. Next one, it's funny because again, I saw this game at Value Pawn and they wanted 15 for it. I got it for half of that at Cash America on a different platform. Jedi Fallen Order on the PS4. This one, I think it's worth a little less than $7 right now, but I'm gonna hold on to it for trade. Hopefully they'll get some nice trade-in deals going. So $7 for a copy of Jedi Fallen Order, not bad. And the price tends to fluctuate a bit on that one. And then this one, I mostly got because A, it's a game I don't have, and B, it was sealed. Which you don't see sealed games that often at a pawn shop. So I'm like, you know what? Why not? Jump Force on the PS4. Completely sealed. The disc is loose though, but the game is sealed. That's pretty cool. $28, not too bad. So now I'm going to head over to the other Value Pawn and see if they've got anything worth picking up. Value Pawn number 2. Lately I haven't had much luck at this one. Maybe that'll turn around today. Let's see. Okay, so I actually picked up 2 things at Value Pawn, and I think I did okay on them. I don't think I gained any crazy value, but both of these I picked up for the collection. The first is a game, and this is a game that's been in there for a little while. They asked for 9, which in terms of retail is not terrible. It's not worth that, but I figured, you know what? It's a game I wanted to have. It's in good shape. Might as well. Just Cause 4 on the Xbox One. So, looks pretty fun. It's even got the DLC code in it. So, $9, not horrible. Obviously, I would have preferred to pay less, but it's not the worst price in the world. And then this was, I think, the biggest score because finding controllers for older gen systems is pretty hard to do. And finding one, especially for a good price, is pretty hard to do. So when I saw this, and as you saw in the clip, I decided, you know what, this is kind of an instant buy because it's a controller, it's in good shape, and it's for a console that I own. So might as well grab it. A blue DualShock 3 for the PlayStation 3. I already have a PS3 DualShock controller. It's the Emerald one. This one definitely feels a little better. That one's kind of loose and a little janky. This one feels much better. I think it's a newer DualShock 3 than that one. So now I have 2 PS3 controllers, which is great. So now I can play co-op. My goal is with every console to have at least 2 controllers so you can do 2-player games. So now I have a second PS3 controller. This one might become my default, honestly, when I play PS3, but we'll see. So, pretty solid day at the pawns, got a good amount of stuff, and I still have a package I'm waiting for from Gamestop, which will come in tomorrow, so you'll see that when it comes in. Alright, so it's actually a little while after I filmed this initial video. I originally planned on including a few extra things, but it took so long for those to come in that I moved them to next week's video. So you'll see those on the next one. So this is kind of a short recap, but it's a recap nonetheless. So I picked up a few things for this video, and it's not a ton of stuff, mostly because, again, I feel the pawn shops are getting a little stingy
but it gets the job done, and there's some quality additions to the collection in there, so I think it did okay. We're gonna start off with Value Pawn, where I picked up one thing that I kept, and that is Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville on the Xbox One. Fun multiplayer game. Looks good. I've enjoyed the other Plants vs. Zombies games, so I'm sure this one's gonna be fun as well. I paid $6. It is worth $11. Next up at GameStop, and I know, I've already talked about this a couple times, so I'm not going to keep talking about it, but Sonic the Hedgehog on the PS3. This is a game I've been looking to pick up for a while, mostly because I know it's bad, and eventually I do want to play it on the Bad Games series. Let's Play Bad Games. And it's expensive for some reason. I don't know why, but I guess people want to play it because it's bad. Anyway, I paid $20 in credit for it. It's worth $11, so I did lose a little bit of value, but I paid credit, so I don't feel too bad. All right, next up, from Value Pawn, the second time I went, because, I went to this Value Pawn multiple times in the same week, and both times, I only came away with like a couple things because they were just asking for too high a price. This time I picked up Scribblenauts, the Mega Pack on the Xbox One. It includes Scribblenauts Unmasked and Scribblenauts Unlimited, 2 different Scribblenauts games that have been brought to the Xbox One. Looks pretty fun. It's not a game I see very often, so I figured I would add it to the collection because of that. I paid $5 for this. It is worth $7, so a slight boost. Nothing crazy, but it is what it is. Next up, we went to Cash America. I have 2 games that I kept from that lot. Traded into in the next video. So you'll see the trade-in in the next video. Well, not see it, but like the benefits of that trade-in. But I did pick up 2 games, and one of them is sealed, although I think I need to open it because the disc is loose, but still. I picked up to keep Cartoon Network Battle Crashers. I know nothing about this. It looks like an interesting beat 'em up style game. I don't know, it's just a game I didn't see very often. It also doesn't have a ton of value in terms of trade-in, but it's worth a little more than what I paid. I paid $7, it was worth $9, so might be a fun little distraction at some point. Here's the sealed game. It's not every day you find sealed games at a pawn shop. Now this one doesn't have a ton of value, and like I said, the disc is loose, so I'm definitely not gonna keep it to get it graded or anything. But I have a sealed copy of Jump Force on the PS4. In fact, I'm gonna open it now because I want to see the condition of this disc, because that's always a concern, because I just, every time I pick this box up, I hear that disc rattling around, and obviously we don't want the disc to be damaged because the seal means nothing. Especially for a game like this. This is not a high value game, so the seal means nothing compared to the disc. Alright, let's take a look. I mean, the disc is fine. It was just rattling around a bit. So now it's a opened copy of Jump Force on the PS4. I don't know a whole lot about this game. It's basically just a whole bunch of anime characters in a fighting game. Matt is really excited to try this, actually. I told him I'd bust it out so he can try it. So eventually he'll play it. He doesn't have a PS4, so he's gonna have to play it online. But I paid $7 for it. It's actually worth $16 new, so it's not new anymore because I opened it, but it's worth about $16. Still pretty solid value. And then last couple things I picked up were from a different value pawn, and I think I did pretty well on both of these. I picked up one game, and that is Just Cause 4 on the Xbox One, and this was in really good shape. It's basically, almost new condition. It's got all the inserts, the disc is flawless. It's a game I've been meaning to pick up for a while because I already have Just Cause 3 physically, so I figured, well, let's get Just Cause 4. So, pretty solid shape. Paid $9, it's worth $9, so not a huge value bump. Honestly, the biggest score of this lot is this PS3 DualShock 3 controller. Now, it's not every day that you find, especially retro controllers for 360, PS3, that generation, at pawn shops. Every now and again, you're going to find Xbox One or PS4 controllers, but it's not very common to find older gen controllers at pawn shops, especially for a good price. They only wanted 15 bucks for this controller. And I took a look at it. It's in pretty solid shape. I tested it on my system. It plays great. It controls great. It's got a little wear, but otherwise, like, it's a pretty nice controller. Very happy to pick it up. I paid $15 for this, and it's actually worth $27. So this was a pretty solid bump up in terms of value compared to what I paid. And that's it. Pretty light week. Nothing crazy. The next video is going to be a bit more interesting because I had some pretty solid pickups. So I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I am filming this basically at the same time as the next video, so that's why I can kind of tease it as opposed to normal where I just go week to week. So check out that video if you want to see a little bit more impressive pickups. But I mean, this was a nice, easy week, so take what I can get. Anyway, that is going to do it for this episode of the Bargain Game Hunter. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're new around here, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell. That way you know when new videos drop. We got tons of new content on this channel. 3 gaming videos a week with BGH on Mondays, and then 2 gaming videos on Wednesday and Friday. So check them out. That's going to do it. I will see you next week on the Bargain Game Hunter. Bye-bye.